This is the OM-702S and all its accessories. In multimeter mode, it supports AC, DC voltage, AC, DC current, resistance, continuity, diode, capacitance, and temperature measurements. The multimeter has a high precision of up to 9,999 counts and true RMS measurements. The F1 to F4 buttons at the top of the panel control the corresponding functions shown at the bottom of the screen. The first button in the second row is the power button and also the RL button in multimeter mode. The second button is for auto waveform acquisition and manual or auto range switching in multimeter mode. The third button is for data hold and data save functions, and it can connect to a computer to export saved data. The fourth button is for mode switching, allowing you to switch between oscilloscope mode and multimeter mode with one click. The menu button in the center brings up all the device's functions. Pressing F1 switches the coupling mode. Pressing F2 selects the trigger mode, single, auto, or normal trigger. Pressing F3 sets the trigger edge to rising or falling. Pressing F4 selects the probe attenuation. If the voltage exceeds 40 V, both the probe attenuation and the device attenuation should be set to 10x. By pressing the right button, we can switch to the next page of function introductions. Pressing F1 selects the language. Pressing F2 sets the auto power off time or disables auto power off. Note that disabling auto power off consumes more power, so it's recommended to set it unless you need long-term monitoring. Pressing F3 adjusts the screen brightness. Lowering the brightness can extend usage time during long-term monitoring. Pressing F4 toggles additional measurement values like VPP, peak-to-peak voltage, and frequency, which can help with data monitoring. By pressing the right button again, we switch to the next page of function introductions. Pressing F1 starts baseline calibration. Before starting, ensure the device is not charging, no probes or signal inputs are connected, and do not use other buttons. Simply wait quietly for the calibration to finish, or the results might be inaccurate. Calibration can be done when the device is first used, hasn't been used for a long time, measurement environment changes, or if the baseline drifts and measurements are inaccurate. Once the screen shows calibration success, you can start measuring. The most convenient feature of the OM-702S is one-click waveform measurement, which saves a lot of time. You only need 3 steps to measure any waveform. Connect the waveform test leads. Connect the component. Press Auto to automatically acquire the waveform. Pressing F2 moves the waveform using the arrow buttons. After automatically capturing the waveform, pressing F1 adjusts the time base and voltage of the waveform. Use the left/right buttons to adjust the time base and the up/down buttons to adjust the voltage. Additionally, the device has a built-in 3V 1 kHz square wave signal output for self-calibration. The round port is the ground, and the square port is the signal generator. After connecting, press Auto to acquire the measured waveform. To view saved waveforms on a computer, connect the Type-C data cable to measure the voltage waveform of a socket. First, connect the waveform probe and multimeter probe. Set the oscilloscope probe attenuation and device attenuation to 10x, and set the coupling mode to AC coupling. Insert the multimeter probe into the socket and press Auto to automatically measure the waveform. After measurement, adjust the waveform using the up, down, left, right buttons, or press Save to save it. You can also connect to a computer to observe the measured waveform images.